Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to the UWS Studio and UWS Weekly, a show dedicated to the best pro-am league in the world. As normal, my name is Jonathan. I'm your host of UWS Weekly, and I am excited this evening to be joined by members of the San Antonio Athenians for today's show. There's no league news as tonight, as we have been doing a lot of the league news on our UWS kickoff show. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Instagram to catch up on all the latest news and announcements coming from the league. Joining me tonight, representing the San Antonio Athenians, I have Olivier Felpa and Nikki Popa. Good evening to you two. Thank you for taking the time to join us. How is it going, Nikki and Olivier?
Awesome. So glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Good evening, Jonathan. Nice to have you.
You're on the different side of the seat tonight, Olivier. So you gotta put up with me. You're not the journalist tonight. I get to do all the work, so you get to just kind of hang out and be free.
It's a different kind of exercise, but whenever I mess up, I will use my accent as an excuse. So
there we go.
I enunciate tonight. There you go.
Hey, so I want to ask you guys. So tell us about yourselves and how you got started in the game. And Nikki, we're going to start with you because you actually have an interesting story of sorts as it relates to an international opportunity that you've been a part of. Can you explain and give us some insight into you?
Yeah. So back in college, I was playing at the University of the Incarnate Word. And after one of the games, the opposite team's coach approached me and he started saying stuff to me. And I just couldn't understand what he was saying. And he was like, "You don't speak Romanian?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, your last name sounded familiar. Like it's Romanian." And I was like, "Yeah, my dad was born there." But he never taught me how to speak Romanian. And then my head coach emailed me about a week later, and he actually recruits for the Romanian national team. So they asked me to go out and train with them in Spain. So I went there for a couple weeks, and I went back to Romania maybe a few months later and trained for another couple weeks. So yeah, it was super exciting and I had a blast. I learned a lot, obviously, and super competitive. So it was great.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to this level with San Antonio Athenians.
Yeah, so like I said, I played at Incarnate Word. I started playing when I was really young, like 4 or 5. My family's a big soccer family. My grandfather actually played in Romania as well. He played professionally and on the national team. And my father grew up playing also, so we all just have this huge passion for soccer. And yeah, so I've been playing since I was little and never had an interest in another sport and just this, and I can't seem to stop. Even after graduating from college, I thought I'd be done, but I just can't get away from it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Olivier, obviously being from France, you have a love for the game, but explain how you got invested in the game and in women's soccer.
But it's a long story. So if I go short for you, I played in France, obviously, for a long time until injuries got the best of me. That's usually how it stops. You know, your body is sending you messages. And I became a sports writer. So I got lucky enough to get a gig with L'Equipe. It's a big European sports newspaper. And I was their guy in North America for 12 years. Gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of great people like Greg Popovich. I covered the NBA. I mean, a lot of sports in the US, you can imagine, the Super Bowl, many Super Bowls, even if I didn't care, guys, but someone had to do it. That was me. And at the same time, I was coaching because I love soccer, because that's my sport. I realized there is still a need for good coaches in the US. So I jumped in, and from this to that, 15 years have passed. And one day we got approached by Pete, who's the former owner of the Athenians. He was looking for someone to take over that baby and make it even bigger. And he decided it was us. So thanks, Pete. We have the support of Juventus because I'm also the technical director for Juventus Academy in San Antonio. And we are building a state-of-the-art facility called Soccer Central. So yes, we can take the Athenians to the next level, and that's absolutely the plan. To be fully honest with you, Jonathan, I'm also very humbled by the entire experience because I've never been involved with women's soccer, and I cannot believe how good those girls are. I mean, the last 2 practices we had with them, you know, I'll be blunt. France can be a pretty sexist country when it comes to soccer. It has changed drastically in the last 10 years, but I didn't grow up with women playing soccer in France. I saw that in the US a lot, but what I saw in the last few weeks with those girls absolutely blew me away. I mean, the intensity is amazing. And maybe we picked the right girls, but I'm very, very excited about the season.
So let me ask, Nikki, what excites you heading into the season? Obviously, 2020 was cut shorter, didn't get an opportunity to get any run in. So what gets you pumped and ready for 2021?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we skipped a season. So I was kind of worried coming into this new season about just getting enough girls out on the field. But I was completely shocked about how many girls we had at tryouts. And even since tryouts, just at practices, we've had more and more girls coming out. And just the talent that we have is amazing. Like we have players coming back from the previous team that are awesome. And we also have a lot of new faces. So it'll be really interesting to see how it all comes together, especially with the new coaching staff. So they're going to bring a whole new game for us, like a different style of play, definitely. And they're extremely passionate. And all the girls are giving 110% right now because we're all fighting for a position. So I'm super excited to see where this goes.
Olivier?
Well, yes, we have an association of Brazil, France, and Spain to coach that team. So it makes for quite a lot of accents out there. And I know some of you are faking it when the coach are talking, but that's okay. Soccer is a universal language. We will get there. And yes, I mean, you can, I mean, we're not trying to reinvent anything, Jonathan. Soccer is soccer. It's just, there is definitely an international touch on this. We want intelligent player. And since day one with Nikki, that's been the message to all of them. We don't want you to play too fast. You know, too many times you see soccer being played where everybody wants to go full speed. You go full speed if it's there. If it's not there, do not lose the ball. And that's the challenge. So we're going at this. We're still doing the basics, by the way, Nikki. It's going to get tougher and tougher, but the intensity is already super high. And I mean, I'm excited about every new session like tonight, what's going to come tonight. And yes, as Nikki said, we keep seeing new players coming and now they're contacting us because they know what's coming. And we haven't even seen the international players that we're bringing or the college girls that are still playing. So it is, there's a lot of unknown, but it's a beautiful unknown right now.
Well, Olivier, let me ask, you've just taken over this club. I mean, less than a few months ago, actually, right before the AGM in January, I do believe. But what has kept the organization in UWS? And Nikki, maybe you can give us some insight into what it's like to play in the UWS or what you're looking forward to this coming season. So, Olivier.
Well, I can't talk too much about the UWS because I'm a rookie there. And that's really the challenge I have. I can tell you that Pete Veras, who's the former owner, did, based on everything I heard and what, you know, the contact that we keep having, we have a very good relationship. We're talking all the time. He did a pretty serious job there. So the team was there. It's a solid team. It has a good name, a good reputation. That's pretty much all I know. And every day is a new discovery, a new challenge, and I absolutely love it. But those girls, working with those girls is a pleasure right now. I mean, I'm still, you know, the European mentality is we're pretty pessimistic. We're waiting for something, the shoe to drop, as you say in the US. I haven't seen it, and it's super fresh, super exciting what we're going through right now.
Nikki, what are you looking forward to this season in the UWS and with your past experiences?
Yeah, I'm just super excited. Like I said, we have a whole new team, new set of coaches. I obviously, without playing last season, I definitely have the hunger to go out there and play competitively again. And that's what I really like about the UWS is the talent across all the teams is way better than most places I've played. So it's just super competitive, and I have to prove to my team and myself how good I can be. And I just kind of thrive on that pressure. So I really enjoy that. And I'm super excited to see how it goes with this team. So hoping for success.
There we go. So let me ask Olivier and Nikki, what is the mission of the club, and how do each of you represent those values on and off the pitch?
The mission of the club. It's a good question. I definitely think we are looking for a group of girls that will give 110% all the time. And also we're here for the community. Like, we're here to represent San Antonio. So we just need girls who are professional and are willing to put it out on the field and be role models for like the kids at Juvenes. So I think it's just really important to represent ourselves in a very professional way. Olivier, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Oh, it's, you know, there's something that has to come back, has to be present all the time. I've been lucky enough to play in Dijon. They are Division 1 in France at the time. They were Division 3. I worked with PSG for a few years, 25 years ago. It's a long time, but it was already a very, very exciting team. And I coached in Texas for a dozen years. There's a trend. The trend is you have to have value. You have to have character. It's a tough game. I mean, you know, you have to fit 11 pieces, and in many times 20 pieces. You have the entire roster. You need everybody to sacrifice for one common cause. And if you have, I'm going to say bad people for lack of English, okay? I apologize. I'm sure there's another term, but if you don't have the right people, you don't have a chance. It doesn't matter. It's not just about winning and losing. It's about creating something. And that's really what I sense, I feel with that group right now. I mean, we're all super excited, but not just because we're new at this. I mean, we've been playing and coaching soccer, and I work with Juventus. We have 200 and something kid. I see it all the time. There's a lot of signs there that make me believe that not only we're going to have a great season, but we're going to connect that group, that team to the city like never before. And that you cannot replace that. It's more important than winning.
So the club has been around since 2016. That's when the league had just gotten going. And this year is a new year for a lot of reasons. One, Juventus coming on board with the Athenians, but also that we had a year off and everybody's had a clean slate. What is the approach that you guys take this season after such a, I don't want to say a long time off, but a year off? How do you get ready and gear up for this season?
You go, Nikki, you're the player.
Yeah, I think a lot of the girls are really hungry right now to be successful this season. It's amazing to see how many people have come out already, and just the amount or the differences we've already made within 2 practices. I'm really excited to get going again and hopefully have a better season than we've had before. We didn't have terrible seasons, but I would love to see us go further, and hopefully we'll make this something bigger. Like Olivier's been saying, like this isn't the end of the Athenians. This is trying to go somewhere else. So we'll see.
There's been Jonathan, there's been a huge void because of COVID. And in the US, despite, you know, how bad the situation, how dire the situation has been, people have been able to play for the most part. You know, you've been able to practice, you've been able to find a way to play. What Nikki described is the reality of the US, but you should hear the players we're getting from New Zealand or Canada. Those girls, I mean, they haven't played a game in 1 year, full year of no soccer. They are dying to play, and they're coming. I mean, their teeth are that long. They just want to play soccer, I mean, till the end of the day right now. So the reality of the US, it's everywhere. And that's why, I mean, when we start this process, we were like, okay, there's a bunch of players out there that want to play even more than the one we have. And make no mistake, this is a San Antonio project, but there's so much more out there. And that's why when we're going to combine all of those players, I mean, watch out. I mean, I'm not out there to tell the other guys, hey, we're coming for you. But this is going to be some explosive team we're putting together, and I'm dying to see the result. Yes.
So I have to ask, the logo that's over your shoulder here that represents the club, what does the logo represent? I know it has a little bit of Greek mythology to it, but what does it mean to the team? What does it mean to San Antonio?
To me, that represents just, you know, she was the goddess of wisdom and war. So to me, it kind of represents how we're going out on the field every time to battle. And although we're going out to battle and it may get ugly out there, we still have a sort of elegance about us. We're gonna be humble about it. But that's what it means to me. So I think it's a great, like, the perfect representation of what we should be on and off the field.
Because there is wisdom in it. You know, everybody can talk about going to war, and, you know, we're still talking about a game. So, and yes, to play at that level, you better bring it. But the wisdom part is what does it to me. Again, we're talking about soccer IQ, being clever and you play the game. It is a super physical game. So you better bring that. But if you don't have the intelligence behind it, you don't play soccer. So that's the kind of soccer we want, and it's a perfect, you know, the logo is absolutely perfect. I mean, those women are warriors, you know, and you better bring it, Nikki. Play like that.
Will do.
So I have to, Juventus comes in to the club as a part of the dynamic. Along with that is a youth club that Juventus has. So how does San Antonio Athenians plan to use the local youth club in Juventus to help develop soccer in San Antonio?
Well, the reality of soccer makes it that it's, I mean, the women's soccer is so much, I mean, what happened in the US with women is so much closer to the soccer in Europe. There's really a bridge that we can create, and we had many talks with Juventus in Italy about this, the day we decided to go for Athenians, where once COVID stops, because it's complicated in Italy and it's way worse than it is in the US, because everybody has to stay at home, and it really did damage to the business over there. So they're in slow-mo in Italy, but they are looking with a lot of attention what we're going to do on the field, because there are so many players, so many women players in the US that can go play to Europe tomorrow. And saying that a girl from San Antonio, Athenians, will end up to Juventus Italy is absolutely not a dream. It's a reality that will happen. We just have to find the right player. And I mean, who knows? Maybe that player is already on the team.
So Jake is one of our local, he's out of Houston. He's one of our local, he's always on the show. He's a big component of women's soccer, big advocate for the Dash. He asks, what are you all looking forward to the most to achieve this season? How do you measure success this season?
Personally, for me, I know obviously winning games and being at the top of our league is ideal, but since we just have such a new group coming together, success to me is just being able to build that chemistry together and to execute what our coaches are trying to teach us at practice. And if we give 110% every time. So that's how I'm going to measure it. If I feel like we've fulfilled our duties on the field, then I'm happy personally.
This new Athenian group is not there to go away in 1 year or 2 years. We're building something big that's going to go on for years. So year one is important, but it is year one with us. That doesn't mean we don't have ambition, Jonathan. I mean, you know, we talked about value before. You know, it's fair game and fun game to kind of talk about, hey, we're gonna win the league or whatever, but we're not gonna boast and say that kind of stuff. I know that we're gonna be very competitive. If it means playoff, we'll take it. You know, if it means more than that, we will also take it. It's just what means success this season is we're still in COVID. People have been frustrated like never before, probably. We want to give them something to cheer for. And we're going to play ambitious soccer. That's the message we have, and that's what Fabio, our Brazilian coach, and Mark, the Spanish assistant, that they keep hammering to those girls. Just take chances out there. You know, if we have to lose, we're not going to lose 1-0. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way to look at it, right? If you're gonna lose, you're not gonna lose. You're gonna tie, or you're gonna have that mindset that every game was a win somehow, some way, whether it was technical or whether it was scoreboard. So that's kind of cool to think about. With a number of teams in Texas participating in the UWS, how are you going to be able to assess and get talent to join your club? You've got Wilco, you've got Central Texas, yourselves, Austin, even Tulsa, which is really close, all with the ability to draw in Dallas. How are you going to be able to assess and bring talent aboard for San Antonio Athenians?
Well, I'd love to keep some of the recipe we have, in the back of the kitchen, because I don't want everybody to do it. But you have to adjust to the context. It's kind of like I always say, a good coach is not someone who comes with his ideas. You adjust to the player, and you adjust to the situation. So it's tough to get any college players because they're still playing. Everything has been delayed. So you have to look outside the box. And I think we are doing this nicely. It's not easy because, again, COVID still exists. But between the players that we managed to already bring together, as Nikki said, it's a very good group of players. They have experience. The young one, we are getting some U17 players that can really play. And I had no idea you could be that good at 17-year-old. And the international, maybe we'll brag a little bit. I think the scouting job has been good.
So what should fans be excited about or look forward to this coming season when they come to watch your club?
Like Olivier said before, this is something for our community to kind of root for when there's, all this other stuff going on that people are thinking about. I think I'm really excited because I really think we're going to be successful this season. I think it's going to be really fun to watch this team play together. Like I said, just within the last couple of sessions, the improvements we made have been amazing. And I just hope that everyone believes in us as much as we believe in ourselves.
No, it's definitely going to be fun. It is a game. It doesn't matter the intensity or the rivalry. How do you say that in English? The rivalry. Thank you, Jonathan. It doesn't really matter all that. At the end of the day, it is a game. And we're going to make sure to remind people that that's exactly what it is. So we're going to make it fun.
All right, we're going to put you guys on the hot seat now. So producer Joe, happiest of Joe's on Twitter, he gets to put together these questions, and he gets it's his time. So he is not with us this evening, but he is watching from afar. I know it. He's got some questions. They're quick, straight to the point. His first question for you two, texting or talking? Which one is it?
Texting.
Talking. I'm an old dog, though. You're talking generation gap there,
Yeah. What's something you would eat for a week straight?
Pizza.
Cheese and bread.
Last song that you downloaded?
Oh. Can I look?
Oh, no. You got to know these things. It was your song.
No.
And don't tell me Party in the USA. Let's not go there.
I'm cheating. I'm looking at my phone as we speak, and I do that because I honestly don't know. I don't have time right now to download anything.
I know it's by the band Young the Giant.
All right, so something from Young the Giant. Okay, we'll take it. Olivier?
I'll be boring. I can't remember anything unless I look. I'm looking at Emily Lou right now, so is that enough?
That's enough. We'll take it. We'll take it. What place do you want to travel to the most?
Bora Bora.
Nice pick. I've been lucky enough to travel a lot already through my career, but I've never been to New Zealand. Okay. And I love rugby as well.
So are we doing a road trip to the World Cup for the Women's World Cup here? That's in New Zealand and Australia, and possibly catch some All Black rugby?
Look at you, clever man.
I'm already in. I'm already in. And then his last question for you two. Invisibility or super strength? Which one would you rather have?
Invisibility.
The same.
All right. Well, hey, before I let you two go this evening, I have to ask, as I ask with all my guests, the main question, why we're all a part of this, and we all put our time and effort into it. What does community mean to you?
To me, it's a group of people that come together with the same ideas or I can't think of the word. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I blanked. But honestly, when I think of community, I think of San Antonio. I think we have a very cohesive group for the most part, overall in San Antonio. And I think we're all very supportive of each other for the most part. Again, there might not be some people, but from what I've experienced, especially being on the Athenians before, and just seeing the amount of people that come out, it just feels like a family. Like you don't know all those people in the crowd, but everyone's there to support you, and you're trying to do as much as you can to give back to San Antonio, our community. So that's what I kind of think of.
Community to me, I mean, it's about connection. I mean, we, especially now after 1 year of being, pretty much recluse away from people, we all need it so bad to kind of get back out there and share feelings and share stories and share good time. And I've been coaching in San Antonio for 12 years. I know there's a lot of talent, and I also know how important it is for the city to get behind something big. I've seen it with the Spurs, and I'm not gonna say we're gonna challenge the Spurs. San Antonio FC is there. You see when there's a good product out there, how crazy the city can get. I would love for San Antonio to do that for a women team.
That's fair assessment. Fair assessment. So before I let you two go tonight, and I know you guys have training, is there any parting words or anything else anybody on this show should know or be ready for as it relates to the San Antonio Athenians in 2021?
By the end of the season, they will speak French, Portuguese, and Spanish. They don't know it yet. That's it.
Yeah, I really want people to come out and see what we have to show. So please support us and come see what we can do.
Awesome. Well, Nikki, Olivia, I know you guys have training this evening. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join me this evening. And I hope to see you guys on the pitch this summer. And I wish you both the best of luck and health as you head in to this brand new campaign. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. See you soon.
All right. Well, thank you to all of you who took the time to join us this evening for UWS Weekly. Don't forget, you can check out all things UWS and UWS2 online on their social media pages, and send in your questions for future shows as well. So until next Thursday, have a great evening and enjoy your weekend, everyone. Happy Easter and cheers.